Betsy.
Hey Josh, good to see you. Just wondering if you could tell us a little bit about, what the vibe was like the first day of camp, how nice it felt to be back facing live pitching, that type of thing.
Yeah, everything went well. It was nice to be around all the guys again. Everybody's excited for the season. And yeah, everybody came back and looks in great shape.
Go ahead, Dill.
Josh, how tough was it for you to miss the playoffs last year, and how much motivation did that give you in kind of your off-season work on your body and now coming into this camp?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough to watch the guys. That's the first playoffs I've ever missed. I spent about a month after the season trying to get everything right, and just kind of trying to figure out the program. And I feel really good going into camp right now, and we'll see how that goes.
Josh, is there any way to know how your calves are going to be? Was there any thread between the couple of seasons where they were a problem for you that you can try to head off before you get to that point?
I think the biggest part for me, one of the biggest focuses for me this offseason is get the strength back in my legs. A, B, stay mobile, and 3, stay on top of my soft tissue deals, and just trying to improve some running mechanics at the same time, because running is kind of the thing that's, I've fallen into some bad patterns from injuries prior. In 2019, I cleaned it up last year. I felt pretty good. I mean, last year I felt like it was more of kind of a fluke ordeal with when it first started, dealing with some of the protocol that we had to go through and not really having time to get ready for the game. But that's baseball, and as tough as it is for me to, kind of say this, I wish I was a robot, and I wish I could, be 100% and tell you that, hey, I'm great. But at the end of the day, it's, it's a sport, and it's a pretty fast sport, and sometimes, things happen.
How do you overhaul your running mechanics? That's just such a core skill, something you've done for so long. How does one go about doing that?
Well, I mean, it's just trying to take the focus, for myself running in years prior. I've really used my foot and used my calf as kind of the gas for me to go. Really focus on trying to get more hip drive and using my hips to accelerate through the movements to where it can take pressure off of my calves. At the same time, it is difficult, and it's it's been something that I put a lot of time and energy into, and I'm going to continue to do that.
Josh, what do you think about the Twins off-season, and how good of a left side infield can you and Andrelton Simmons be defensively?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Andrelton getting here and getting to play with him. He's an elite shortstop in our game, and I'm definitely excited to be able to play alongside of him. And I think that we'll be able to make some nice plays throughout the year.
And just overall, how do you feel about the team?
I feel great about the team. I believe in Wes. I believe in Rocco, and I believe in our front office and what they're doing. And obviously, I don't know who's all going to be on the roster right now. I know that they've made some moves in the pitching department, and I've got to face some of these guys in the past, and I've heard nothing but great things about them.
Josh, you came in here and you're a guy that likes to motivate people and push them to be better and to get this team to where they want to get. What did you learn last year? How does your approach possibly change this time now that you kind of know what buttons to push around this clubhouse to get this team rolling?
Yeah, honestly, with the team that we have here, they don't necessarily need a ton of motivation. It's a really good team. We were a really good team last year. I think, if anything, I've learned more personalities of guys as they've kind of come to understand me more. And last year, I was able to watch a lot of these guys go about their business, and I have nothing but great things to say about our teammates. And they come to work every day. They have a very professional mindset, and it's not just myself, but a lot of guys are, trying to improve and be better. And at the end of the day, our goal is to win baseball games. And that's our mindset and that's our focus. And, last year everybody was on board with it, and everybody's going to be on board with it this year as well.
You see the drive maybe a little bit more, and granted, it's day one, right? You've been around there 5 hours, so but do you feel that there's going to be more of a drive that this group can only be together for so long, because that's the way baseball is with major leagues? And Rocco says we have all the pieces here to do what we want to do. Do you sense that as well?
Well, I mean, I think going into the year, everybody's definitely exuberant about being here, and everybody sees the potential that we have as a ball club, whether the time of this or that. I think as athletes, we try to focus on what's in front of us today and understanding that each and every day there's an opportunity to get better and to help our ball club. And I think that's, what we have to stay in. We can't really kind of look too far ahead. That's what the big guys in the front office get paid to do. And we try to focus with what we have here and with who we have on our team and what can we do to be better.
Josh, does your day-to-day training or routine look significantly different this year than it did last as a result of kind of trying to keep you on the field? And have you talked to Rocco at all about, usage and that sort of thing and how that might look this year?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it. We've had some brief conversations about it. I think, last year, and we had some of these conversations last year. It was a unique year last year with how important each and every game was. So I think some of the planning that we had kind of went out the door to some extent, to where like I said, every game was counting near 3 games. So we were trying to push it. I felt great going into the season. I felt great here in spring training last year. And I think going into this season, there is going to be more of a working me into the games. And when the regular season starts, to probably do a little bit of management as far as early on how much I'm playing in I'm not going to go out there and play in every single game early on, but to kind of build into getting game ready, because it doesn't really matter over the course of my career. I'm sure a lot of guys in here would say the same thing. You could train and do whatever you want in the off season, but coming in, playing baseball, playing every day, traveling, doing what we have to do, there is a kind of getting broken in effect as getting into baseball shape, because there is a lot of sitting down. There is a lot of, going from sitting, not doing anything, to full speed right away, and your body has to get acclimated to that.
And I talked about this a little bit last year, where you're adjusting to that mindset, but the competitor in you, is it still kind of tough to know that at the start of the season it's not an everyday thing?
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I'm an athlete. I want to be out there every day, but understanding that in order for me to be out there and help our team win throughout the season, that there's going to have to be some adjustments made.
Josh, you spent 2 or 3 years.
Go ahead, Seth.
Josh, you spent 2 or 3 years in Toronto with Jay Happ, and I'm sure you saw him quite a bit when you were in Oakland and he was in Toronto. Describe him as a little bit as a teammate, but also what improvement did he make when he went back to Toronto in 2015, 2016 that has helped him become so good?
Yeah, I mean, Jay Happy's a great teammate, first and foremost, great human. He works his tail off, and he's the kind of guy that you want on your team. He's going to be a great leader. He's going to be a great example for the younger guys to be able to look towards. And I think the biggest thing in Toronto that he got better at, was command. I think early on in his career he was a little bit sporadic with command, and he really found who he is as a pitcher. And he has a great fastball that plays up even more than what the radar gun says. And I think he used that, and he's a competitor. He goes out there, and his goal is to give our team a chance to win every time he steps out there.
Josh, what's it like having an academy named for you? What was the motivation behind that, and how much work was that for you?
Yeah, we spent about 2 years kind of going over plans, and the big motivation for me is, I went to high school around that area, and I wanted to try to give back to the community as much as possible. And I think it's going to be a great atmosphere for kids to come in and get better, not only as baseball players, but helping kids become better and learning how to become men. And I think it's going to be top of the line, and we've spent a lot of time and energy on it, and we're excited for that to open up in probably about a year or so.
Josh, a few years ago, you came to the Dominican Republic and played winter ball. Last week, Escogido, the team that you play for, just had their centenary anniversary. Is there something you would like to tell to the Escogido fans? And what do you remember the most from being here in the DR playing winter ball?
Well, I think the biggest thing I learned from there is how passionate the fan base is about baseball. And how much of a different style of the game that it is, and I appreciated it. And I had a great time in Santo Domingo, and they took care of me. Beautiful beaches, people seemed very happy, and like I said, it was beautiful weather there all the time, and it's a great culture as far as for baseball players and for baseball fans to be around.
How much did it help you for your career to play in the winter ball?
I think it helped me a lot. I went there in 2011 with kind of not knowing the certainty of whether or not I was going to, stay on our 40-man roster with Oakland. And I really went there to kind of show that I could be versatile, play third base, and they gave me that opportunity to play third there every day and to face some major league type of pitching, to where it gave me confidence going into the next season.
Hey Josh, how different was this offseason for you from a personal standpoint, and is your family here with you?
Yeah, we had a newborn. Her name's Aubrey Neal, and she was born in November, and it's definitely been a great experience. And they are here with us, and she's going through some teething moments at the time. So I'm sure all of you who are parents can kind of understand what that's like. We've been excited about it. It's been such a blessing for both of us, Brianna and I, and we're very thankful to be parents and to have her with us.
Josh, as a guy with a big contract already signed, you might not seem like the kind of guy that would take a position on the upcoming negotiation, but I understand you were offended by the whole Kevin Mather situation in Seattle. What did you think about that, and what are you looking for in the upcoming negotiations? Do you intend to play a role?
Yeah, I've throughout this process, throughout my career, I've always been involved with our union and tried to learn as much as possible. I feel like we've had one of the best unions, if not the best union, in all of sports across the country. So, you come to find out that the more information that you get, the better understanding. And, for my decisions that I've had to make in my career, it's been very beneficial for me. I wouldn't say that I was offended by what happened. I was actually sincere in saying that I was thankful that came out, because I think kind of as players, we all understand that those things have happened, as far as manipulating service time and so forth. And at the end of the day, man, I'm actually happy that he came out and said that, because it gives us, it gives people like yourself, it gives people, fans that are kind of in here, to understand why some of our positions are why they are. And I feel like the players, we get portrayed to be bad guys in a lot of the situations when it comes into instances like that, to know, like, hey, if we don't fight for certain things, they get taken away. and that's our goal as a union. Is the more information, this stuff that happened, younger players, maybe they didn't really believe that this has happened. Obviously, myself, been around for a while now. I've seen it happen throughout the course of my career, and at the end of the day, there's not a higher league than Major League Baseball. This is it. This is the top of the line. The best players should be playing here. That's not always the case, and a lot of that is for the other side of baseball, which is the business side. And we all can understand making money, which is great, but at the end of the day, we have to be more knowledgeable and hold people accountable for their actions as well.
Hey, Josh, Garrett Cole earlier was saying that, hey, if we come up with a rule to stop the service time suppression, they'll probably find a way around that rule or whatnot. I mean, how big of a challenge will it be to, I guess, get the changes that you want and also try to prevent that kind of behavior from happening in the future, just from ownership as a collective?
I don't have those answers. At the end of the day, I think what was why I was thankful for what had happened is that this brings light to the situation that is at hand. Fans don't care about us players if we're arguing over millions of dollars and we're talking about owners making billions of dollars. Fans don't understand that. They don't care about that, and I get it. If I was working a 9 to 5, that wouldn't be my concern either. At the end of the day, it does bring light to the situation that's at hand, and we'll give more insight to, hey, when we do stand our ground, this is why we're doing it, and to just help others have a better understanding. Because like I said, the majority of baseball players know that this happens, and that is the business side of the game. Whether it's right or wrong, I'm not here to judge.
Have you had a teammate in the past that has been held back, that first 20, 25 days in the last couple of years?
I mean, for the better part of the organizations I've been a part of, that hasn't been the case. But I mean, you see, Chris Bryant situations. You see there. I'm not going to go through all of the situations that have happened. Look, I think if you go through it and you do your research, that you can kind of see what's happened over the course of time, and that's just the situation that's at hand.
Actually, that could happen here. Alex Kirilloff made his debut in Game 2 of the playoffs, and with 0 service time. What are your feelings on that?
Well, I think that, and the relationship that I have with that and Derek is that they want to have the best team out there. That's going to be for them to answer. And I've seen Alex for a short time as far as being at the alternate site. I think the kid is really good. I think he has a bright future ahead of him. What they do is what they do. I don't know who everybody's going to be on our roster at this moment. But I would assure you that Twins fans, that everything that I've seen, Derek and Thad, they want to put the best team out there.
We're good today, guys? Cut it off there, I think. Let Josh get going with the rest of his activities. And we'll
Josh, what's the farthest you've ever thrown a bat? How did today rank?
Yeah, that was up there. I think maybe in the All-Star game in 2016, I threw one further, but today was up there. I mean, I think it went about 150 feet. So I was quite impressed with that.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Doug.